Okay, today let's talk about setting up a painting area and some of the basic things that we need to know when we're starting to paint. So when you are painting, you will need your paper, your paints. I am using Tempera cakes, a palette of some sort for mixing colors, water, and a sponge or a paper towel or a cloth of some sort, something that will absorb excess water on your paintbrush if you don't need it. So when you are painting, there are definitely lots of things to remember. So if you are using Tempera cakes like I am, you will need to wake them up a little bit with some water. So I'm going to apply water to each of the colors, and you'll notice that in between doing each color, I am coming back to the water. So coming back to the water is really, really important. Keeping your brush clean is going to keep your paints clean, and clean paints are important for painting. You'll learn pretty quickly that if you're not keeping your brush clean, then you're gonna mix colors on accident, right? So if this happens to you, don't panic, or if you get a set of paints where the colors are mixed from a previous kiddo, don't panic. All you need to do is get your brush wet and lift some of that paint up with your paintbrush. Come back to the water and back to your paints, and just keep doing that until you are satisfied with the way the color looks. You have it back to the original color. So nice and clean again. You may have noticed that I am using my sponge to help kind of take some of this water off, help keep my brush clean. So you'll notice me doing that from time to time. Again, a sponge, a paper towel, or a cloth will help remove extra water from your paintbrush. The other thing we need to think about is the more water that we have on our brush, the more transparent or see-through our color will be. And the less water we have on our brush, the more vibrant or opaque that color will be. So I'm gonna add a lot of water here to show you what I mean. So something a little bit more transparent, I can see the paper through it, but if I use less water, so I kind of remove some of the extra from my paintbrush and then spend some extra time applying paint to my brush, my paint is then more opaque, less see-through, brighter. The other thing you'll notice when I am painting, another great way to remove extra water is to use the edge of your cup. So I'm just kind of dragging my brush on the end. I'm not tapping, because if I'm tapping, I'm getting water everywhere. The water is kind of coming off of my brush, onto my painting, onto my table. So I am just dragging my brush on the edge like this to remove extra water as well.
So before we move on, I want to mention how important it is to take care of your paintbrush. So things like pressing down too hard, leaving your paintbrush sitting in the water, and twisting it around like a drill are all ways that will ruin the bristles and ruin your paintbrush. So make sure you're taking extra special care of that brush.
So if you are using Tempera cakes, you're going to notice that you don't have all of the colors that you need. But the great thing about painting is we can use our primary colors, our red, blue, and yellow, to create our secondary colors. So our green, our purple, and our orange. Then we also have white and black. So with our white and black, we're able to create tints. So that's gonna give me pink, right? If I add white to red, I have pink. And I can also make shades. So shades are when we have darker colors. So we have like a dark green. So thankfully I have all of the colors that I need here to make any color that I want. First up is orange. And when I'm mixing colors, I always start with the lightest color first. And I notice here my orange is a little bit miscolored, so I'm gonna clean that before I mix. Okay, so I had to use my sponge quite a bit to get that color clean, so it appears that I need some new water. My water is making my paints even messier than my brush is. So I'm gonna pause and go get some new fresh water. So the last thing are tints and shades. So I can make any color that I want because I have my primary colors and white and black. So if I add white to a color, it is going to give me a lighter color. So white plus blue will give me this light blue, or a tint of blue. And black plus blue will give me a shade of blue. So this is like a navy here.